I can't.
Breyer's all-natural ice cream with the B. Nothing but pure enjoyment.
Radon, the hidden health hazard, tonight on Eyewitness News.
Well, good afternoon and welcome. Now, you know, there are a lot of people who think that doing Gary Lumpkin's job, he'll try anything, would be a great, fun thing to do.
We showed them.
That's right, we showed them
wait till you see.
that it is, in fact, scary because we had a host for a day competition, and we went through a lot of people who auditioned to be Gary, and one woman won. And what you're going to see on today's show is the results of what she did. She did something that even Gary didn't have the nerve to do.
Also, we're going to take a look at a new study that's going on here in the Twin Cities that is testing a new cream that can maybe eliminate wrinkles.
Also, we're going to meet a surrogate mother, Patty Adair, who tells us how she had a child for another couple, and if she had it to do all over again, she would do it again. All that's coming up just ahead on Good Company.
From the Twin Cities, it's Good Company. With your hosts, Steve Edelman and Sharon Anderson. With field host Gary Lumpkin and bargain hunter Vicki Odette. And now, your hosts, the husband and wife team, Steve and Sharon.
Smiling. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you. Oh, yeah.
Thanks, gang.
Oh, yeah. It is Good Company, everybody. Welcome.
See, even though the weather seems to be changing just a little, it doesn't mean it is changing our attitudes,
It didn't
right?
change overnight. It changed, changed in what, 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Yesterday
It seemed like toward the evening, we were just saying to our audience here, it seemed to go from the summer, which we're really getting used to with that nice heat, to like the wind's blowing and it's cold, and hey, what's going on here?
Yeah, well, we can't get used to that other stuff. We're Minnesotans.
I know.
You know, if we were living in Southern California, it's not good for us.
Isn't it wonderful? People are getting in more boating than they've gotten in a long, long time, getting their boats in weeks ahead of time if they have one, or going up to the cabins or whatever.
I like this weather, though. I really like the kind of moodiness of this today. I think.
Oh, do you?
Nice. Yeah, yeah.
Because it reminds you of me. No.
my moody husband.
Right, exactly.
No. I think, I don't know. It just feels good. Then you can appreciate the other more.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd prefer just to say nice, and forget about the change. But anyway.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
What you want.
That's true.
It's going to do this to us anyway.
No, but it's my birthday's coming up, so it should matter.
Okay.
More about that later. But anyway, we have our host for a day winner, who you're going to meet today. She tried something that I wouldn't try. And Gary Lumpkin says he wouldn't try. We're going to kind of keep it a little secret from you, but you're going to see it a little later in today's show. Her name is Jackie Pollock, and she's from Columbia Heights. And she was the winner out of many, many people who auditioned to be Gary for a day. Now, just in case you didn't see the show that she did audition on, let's take a look at that right now. This is Jackie, I think it was sometime last week, when she was supposed to do a certain presentation.
Kind enough to allow me the opportunity to adopt one of Gary's pets, which I am going to show you right now. And oh God! Oh no! I don't think.
You have to, remember, you have to hold it. It's in a little, take the container out. Okay, I'll get rid of the big box. See, no, it's not, I can't be too big.
This is my pet, and his name is Max. And
you must hold the pet.
Max is feeling a little shy today, and he really doesn't want to come out in front. So maybe Gary will help you. He'll put it on the table.
Oh, put out your hand.
Oh, God.
She showed great poise in a situation that made her very uncomfortable.
Yeah, obviously she had no idea what was in that little thing. I mean, I thought it was a spider, but this was, they were roaches, right?
Obviously, she was really scared of
roaches.
It. Yeah.
Ew. But she kept talking right through it and was very open and had a wonderful time. So later in today's show, you'll see what happened when she took a dare and did something really courageous.
Yes, that was far beyond touching roaches.
Yeah.
Our first guest today is a surrogate mother. She was artificially inseminated, then carried a child and bore a son for a couple who had been trying to have a child for 10 years. Patty Adair is herself a mother. She's married, was married then, had 2 children, and she has since had a 3rd child. She's written her story in a book called A Surrogate Mother's Story, and it is a very positive story. For her, it was a very positive experience. Please welcome Patricia Adair.
Hi there.
Welcome, Patty. Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Now, the most obvious question, of course, in all of our minds is what prompted you to want to be a surrogate mother?
I was infertile for 2.5 years, so I knew how I felt if I couldn't have children. And then when I heard about surrogate mothering, I just thought it would be really nice to do it.
Is it something you volunteered for, or they found you? How did it work?
I just called, well, when I seen the news clip, I called station to find out who the lawyer was.
TV station that you
right.
saw. Yeah.
And then I contacted him, and in return, he gave me numbers for the lawyers, and then I called the lawyers and just went to see them, learn about the program.
Now, I know you said you were watching television, you saw the story about being a surrogate mom. You turned to your husband, John, and what did you say to him?
What would you think if I wanted to do this? And he just thought that it would really be nice.
Right
if
there.
If I could handle it.
So
Then
he
he
never
thought-
considered it twice? It was
No.
your decision?
And he just thought it was great that I could do it, you know, because a lot of people can't be surrogate mothers.
What was your thinking? Why did you want to have the child for the other couple?
Because I knew how an infertile couple felt, really wanting children and not being able to have them. And if I could help them, because I have easy labors, easy pregnancies, and easy deliveries, and I thought, well, why not?
How did the whole thing work? Did they come to you and interview you, or did you get to know them? How did
The program I
You
was
matched
in,
up.
the lawyers didn't want us to meet. I accidentally met John at the doctor's office. And we got talking, and I just told him I really wanted him and his wife at the birth. And I just thought it was important for the infertile mother to be part of the 9 months. You know, even though she wasn't carrying the baby, I wanted her to feel as much part of the pregnancy as possible.
Yeah, in fact, you wanted to, even before you met the husband, you wanted to meet them. You really wanted to get a relationship
Right. I
going.
really wanted them in the birthing room.
And it,
Because I thought it was real important for the mother to be there when the baby was born, and they were there.
Tell us about that moment. What was it like?
It was, you can't even describe it, you know, like, there they are, and here I am giving birth, and when the baby came out, just the look on their faces was unbelievable. I'll never forget it, and that alone made me feel I'm glad I did it, you know. They handed the baby right to Sharon, and there was no way in the world anybody could get that baby back off of her.
No second thoughts on your part?
No, none at all. Everybody was crying. I was crying, my husband was crying, but we were crying for the joy of John and Sharon.
well, now, we read in the news about another woman, of course, who went through a huge legal battle because she had a child as you did and then didn't want to give it up.
I don't understand. I think when you go into the surrogate mothering program, you know that it's not your baby. You have to know that. If you don't know it, then don't enter the program.
So there was no moment, there was no time while you were carrying your son, that you felt, gee, maybe I should hold on to him.
No, none at all.
How about the moment of birth? Never.
It was different. See, I have 3 boys. And when I conceived them, it was different because I conceived them with my husband. And it was planned. But with John and Sharon, it was, that baby was wanted and loved before conception. And I didn't know this man, and I had no relationship with him.
You were given $15,000 to do it? I'm sure some people have criticized you for that.
To me, you can't put a price on a human being, you know, and to me it's not baby selling and you're not paying for the baby, because if I gave birth to a stillborn, I still would have got the money, because you're being paid for your service. You're 9 months, it took 5 months to get inseminated, you know, when the doctor called and said, Patty, you have to be here Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock, you had to be there. So I just felt that I was employed by John and Sharon.
You told your parents are both living? When you told your mother what you had in mind, she didn't think much of it.
Don't do it.
Wait, why? Why did you say that?
That's all she said. Then they walked out of my house.
And then were they supportive afterwards, or?
Now they are. I don't think they knew what surrogate mothering was, and that's why I wrote the book, because a lot of my relatives and, you know, you didn't really hear much about surrogate mothering 2-3 years ago.
What was the toughest criticism that you got?
Back in February, Sharon and her son and I did a show, and this man called in, and he was calling John, you know, the baby. It's no different than going into a meat market, you know, and he went and called the surrogate mothers prostitutes, but it really doesn't bother me when people say that, because in my heart, I really feel what I did was right for me. You know, it might not be right for somebody else, but for me, it was the right thing to do.
We're going to continue with Patty in just a moment. Also, we're going to have a chance to talk to the mom of the baby, Sharon, by telephone. So please stay with us.
Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay, together at Disney, what a wonderful day. Plenty of sunshine come your way, together at Disney. Come on, let's play.
It's your time to break away now.
It's warm sun, extra fun.
Disney World's a great vacation.
Zippity-doo-dah.
Zippity-yay, together at Disney. I'll never get them out of here. Wonderful day.
I'm Bronson Pinchot. I'd like to speak to you about an issue which seems to be tearing our country apart. The issue, which tastes better, Pepsi or Coke Classic? For the next few months, everyone all over America can come on down to a taste test booth and taste for themselves which one is really America's choice. You think there's any doubt who's going to win?
Let your taste decide this Tuesday at Burger King on Brooklyn Boulevard.
Well, hi again, everyone. I'm at the weight loss clinic today, and I'm standing next to Penny Nichols. And one thing we've learned here at Weight Loss Clinic is people have different reasons for wanting to lose weight. There's a before picture of Penny I think you should look at, because it was that picture that, well, you tell the story.
Well, that's right. I was working on a political campaign, and that picture was going to be in the newspaper. I took one look at that, and I knew there was time to do something about my weight.
Well, you did something. You visited our Brooklyn Center clinic, and tell me the results.
I lost 40 pounds in 4 months. I lost 7 inches off my hips and 6 off my waist.
That is absolutely terrific. 40. You're ready for the next campaign.
I sure am.
Bring on the photographers. Well, it certainly worked for Penny, and the weight loss clinic can work for you.
Years ago, Patty Adair had a son. She was artificially inseminated. She had the son for another couple. And we have some questions here. Yes.
I would like to know how Patty feels when she visits this little boy.
Do you visit him?
No.
You don't?
No.
Have you seen him since the birth?
Just once. And Sharon never feels like I'm the mother, and I never feel like he's my son.
You will never go back to visit him at all?
What do you think about that?
I think I would want to see him.
If he ever wants to meet me and my children, you know, Sharon and I became really good friends, and we keep in touch.
Sharon's the mother now, the Sharon we're talking about.
Okay, Sharon is on the phone, and we're going to talk to her now. Sharon is the mother. I was asking Patty, now, what do we call Sharon? And Patty said, the mother. She's definitely the mother of the child, even though Patty gave birth to him. Sharon?
Yes.
Hello.
Hi.
How do you feel about Patty?
She's a good friend.
Yeah?
She's a very good friend. She has done something for me that I will never be able to thank her for. She's given me my wonderful son. But she's a very good friend. She's a very special person in my life.
How did you go about choosing Patty to be the surrogate mother of your child?
Well, in the program, they give you like portfolios on a few women who are willing to do this. And you select from it. They give you pictures of children if they have any, and also something about them that they wrote, the surrogates themselves.
What was it about Patty that particularly made her the one you wanted to be the mother of, the person who bore your child?
Patty knew where I was coming from because she had a little problem conceiving her first child, so she knew what I was feeling. And just different things that
she wrote very similar to my background.
Does she look at all like you?
Some people say yes. We both have blue eyes. We're both about the same height. I'm probably a lot heavier now. But we're similar.
So was that a consideration?
Well, to bring somebody probably really way off beat, like darker or something like that, it wouldn't have bothered me. But more so than anything, it was her inner self that I found interesting when she wrote about herself and about her background, her children. She knew where I was coming from. This is what really got my attention.
Were you concerned at all that maybe Patty would change her mind when she actually saw the baby?
No.
You weren't?
No, because Patty and I became friends. I mean, I was with her. We would meet and go shopping, and she just took me right through something that I could not do myself.
Would you do it again?
Sure.
Yes. So it was
Sure.
a positive, totally positive experience for you.
It was. It was a beautiful experience. There are no words to describe what I felt when I saw my son born.
Well, thank you for talking to us, Sharon.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
We have a question in the audience here, yeah.
I was just wondering when this took place.
The baby will be 3 in June.
Yeah, I was wondering whose egg it actually was. Was it the natural mother's or this woman's here?
No, it was mine.
Patty, what is it that makes you different from a mom, that we've seen in the news who wanted to keep the baby? What quality do you have that made you a good surrogate mother?
I don't know. I guess my attitude. I have 3 boys, and I feel like God gave me my boys. And God's working through me to give an infertile mother a child.
Ellen Goodman wrote a column about this whole thing, and she said that it's very complex. It's a very complex issue. Obviously, there's a lot of pros and cons on both sides. But she said the one thing that seemed inappropriate for people to encourage women to have children that they would give up. That seemed contrary to nature. You see what I mean?
I don't think anybody's encouraging the surrogate moms to do it.
Well, if there's a stamp of approval on the program, then more surrogate mothers will be out there, then more people will be more women will be giving up the babies that they give birth to.
No, I don't think it would make anybody do it unless they really wanted to do it.
Do you ever feel as though you were used?
Never. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if it would have made a difference to you if the baby had been a girl. Would it have been as easy to give up?
No, it would have been a difference for my mom because my mom wanted a granddaughter.
Yes.
You had mentioned that you have to decide ahead of time whether you want to enter the surrogate program or not. What requirements are there in the surrogate program to be eligible to be a surrogate mother?
In the program I was in, you had to have children already, which I think is a real good idea. I don't think you could give birth for the first time and give the baby away.
Anything else? They look at your history pretty carefully.
Right, yeah, your medical history. And they go back. They really go back and the day I was born.
Yeah.
And you told us that you were sure that these parents would be good for your child because why?
Because in a surrogate mothering program, the couple puts out a lot of money.
How much did they put out altogether?
$25,000
$15 for you,
and $10 for the lawyers.
$10 for the lawyers. So it's $25,000 cash to have.
And for an infertile couple to put out that kind of money and to go through 10 years like John and Sharon did, they want this baby. And
John and Sharon come to you and say, we want another one, would you do it again?
I'm thinking about it. I would really like to. Because then the children would have the same biological mother.
Okay. Patty's story is in a book. It's available in local bookstores called The Surrogate Mother's Story. Thank you very much for
Thank you,
coming,
Patty.
Thank you.
Patty, dear.
Being cool, you'll find, is a state of mind. A refreshing attitude. Things get hot. Cool is all you got. Doing it country cool. So chill on out when the heat comes on.
Now, Great Clips for Hair presents Judgment Day.
I was about to throw the book at the gentleman. But instead of giving me the old "gimme a break, Judge" speech, all he said was, "Nice-looking haircut, Judge." And all I said was, "Case dismissed, big guy."
Great Clips for Hair, $8. Great perms and stylings, too. There's a Great Clip shop right nearby. No appointment needed.
Get it right. Get it right, get it right, get it right. Get it right. Nobody's body's like your body. Foot Locker, we got the shoes for your body. Get it right. Come see the latest and the greatest. Foot Locker, #1 for your body. In the gym or on the court or on the street, the Foot Locker pros got it right for your feet. Serious. Get it right for your body. Come to the stripes. Foot Locker, come to the stripes.
Clearance for takeoff to Las Vegas and Southern California.
Right now, get a 2-for-1 coach airfare certificate on Jet America Airlines when you buy a taco salad and large Pepsi from Taco Bell. That's right, say hello to a free 2-for-1 flight certificate for the price of a salad and large Pepsi. So if you want to make your lunch money go a little further,
Thank you. What are you doing?
Well, I was just getting organized here. We have some parenting tips for you, and, you know, if we might have a little rainy weather this week, we have some suggestions that might be fun to do inside with the kids.
That's true. But before we do that, it is time for Super Bargain #1. This is a half-price deal on children's dresses. Okay? Let's take a look. It's at a place called the Children's General Store, which is located in Edina. There you are, the Children's General Store. And they offer all kinds of things, of course, for boys and girls, but this deal is 50% off on little girls' dresses. Now, they have a wide selection of clothing, but the deal is on name-brand girls' dresses such as Florence Eisman, Sylvia White, Sabrina, Dorissa, Heartstrings. Heartstrings are kind of weird. Also, Seal Ainsworth. I'm not familiar with those.
Oh, they have beautiful children's clothes.
Yeah, they really do.
Just beautiful.
So you're looking at some of the dresses that will be on sale for half price. Now, ordinarily, they were $18 to $90 today and tomorrow while they last half price. This is a nice deal if you're looking for dresses. Go to the Children's General Store, located on 50th in Edina. Ask for the Super Bargain. And we have 2 more coming up a little later in today's show.
Right, special party dresses.
Okay.
Down here, we have some ideas on things to do with the children. Here's something you can do really quickly, especially if you have been saving your toilet paper empties.
Have you been throwing those out?
Some people do, you know.
Get with it.
Yes, they have no imagination, the people who throw out their empties. But if you don't have toilet paper empties, you can even use your paper towel empties. And what we're going to do is make
we're all saving those, too.
That's right. We have them just stacked up in our closet. But what we're going to do is make a homemade...
Periscope?
Kazoo.
A kazoo?
Yes, an instrument.
I thought it was kind of a periscope.
No, you just
Okay.
take some wax paper, Steve.
Yeah.
And we're going to wrap it around here. I'm going to have you do it. Wrap it
All right.
around one end.
Yeah.
Put a little rubber band on there.
All right.
And you take a scissor or a knife.
Gee, I could've-
You do this part. Don't have the children do this part.
All right.
Okay, and you make a hole in the top.
Yeah.
And then you play the end. That's good for
Very
3-4
easy.
minutes
Thanks,
at least,
Jay.
right?
You all win one of these. Oh, boy. Okay, that's a good idea. That's kind of fun,
Isn't that
it?
fun?
All right, yes. If I'd known that on Mother's Day, I could have saved a lot of money. We
That's
had
right.
Musician come. Anyway, okay, here's another one. This is how to protect the refrigerator from kids that keep opening and closing the door and getting in there
Summer,
when you don't want them
starts
to.
to drip from the heat. Yes, what do you do?
Well, I have to go in there where the refrigerator is,
Oh, okay. See ya.
So,
Have
okay.
fun. Want to take
Come
a
on in.
kazoo?
What's that?
Want to take your kazoo?
Oh, yes. Something to do between here and the refrigerator. Okay, come in here to our KSTP refrigerator, which this is where we keep all the props for our cooking segments, etc. Now, if you come around here, Tom, I want to show something. Tom's our cameraman here. I want to show something that we have on. This is. I just noticed this morning. You see this huge metal hook? I mean, I guess some of the people around here thought that there were problems with our food disappearing from our refrigerator at KSTP, so they have this incredibly. Look at this. This is an industrial strength hook that we actually have here. I can't figure out how to close it. Oh, it's like this on ours. But here's the tip. You take one of these, what they call a bungee cord. Now, campers use these things a lot to kind of tie their back backpack goodies to their backs, etc. And sometimes bikers use them to tie things to their bicycles. What they're suggesting you do is you take it and you put it here on the handle, and then you find something on the back of the refrigerator that is not going to get you in trouble. I don't know if you can see this. I'll move this thing around, but on the back of this one, for some reason, there is this little thing. You know, so you kind of put it to here, and then you put it around here, and it will keep the door shut. If the child tries to open the door, of course, the bungee cord, if it's a strong one, will keep it closed. And then they also suggest that you put it up here if the parents want to get in. Simple as that. What do you think, Sharon?
I think that would probably work. Yes,
Yeah.
unless you had very strong children.
Yeah, that was sent in by Terry Johnson of St. Peter.
Oh, I want to mention our first one was sent in by Barb Collins of Bloomington. Thank you, Barb, for those kazoos. That's fun. Here's a quick tip also. If you have a children's party or you just want to make something kind of special for the kids, you can make mini pizzas. This we found in Tips for Toddlers by Brooke Beebe. And you can just make little kids' pizzas by using English muffins. I think a lot of people have done this. Use English muffins, then you spread them with some tomato sauce, homemade tomato sauce if you got it, or from a can. Put a little bit of mozzarella on it, then put on top whatever the kids like, the olives, the pepperoni, or whatever. And you cook them in the oven, and they come out little mini pizzas.
That's
Kids
cute.
love little
That's a cute idea.
kid-sized food, you know?
Oh, that's all we have time for? Oh, we have some great ones, but we'll do them next week. If you send in one of these that we use, we will send you a Good Company T-shirt from a place called Dome Souvenirs Plus, which is right across from the Dome. Send it in the Parenting Tips care of Good Company, and as I said, if we use yours, we will be sending a T-shirt your way, so put your T-shirt size on the tip.
All right, we're going to find out what happened to the woman who volunteered to be field host
this
for a
is great.
day. Oh,
Don't miss
that's
that. It's
wild.
coming right up. Stay with us.
Hi, I just moved in next door. Could I borrow a Diet Pepsi?
Sure. Come in. Yes. How about something else?
Listen, if you don't have a Diet Pepsi...
I got it. Chasing down a dream. Turning up my engine. Attention screen.
Are you okay in there?
Here's your Diet Pepsi.
That must be my roommate, Danny.
Danny?
Hi, I'm Danielle. You got another Diet Pepsi?
Sure.
Diet Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
Hello, I'm Frank Blair. And hello again. You've probably seen me on TV talking about the advantages of the Guardian Plan, the insurance-funded prearranged funeral program. I believe in prearrangement. It's practical and loving. That's why I have the Guardian Plan program myself. I planned everything in the comfort of my own living room. I determined how much to spend and on what. And that amount is guaranteed never to increase, even if inflation reaches double digits again. I've made the Guardian Plan program part of my personal and financial planning. Shouldn't you make it part of yours? Call the number on your screen, and I'll see that you get a copy of this informative booklet, Funeral Arrangements in Advance. And tell them Frank Blair told you to call.
Call 1-800-356-7500. The Guardian Plan program is sponsored by these fine funeral homes.
In a moment, you're going to find out what happened in our field host for a day. Before we do that, we want to mention a couple things. Tomorrow, we have our great airport giveaway, by the way. It should be fun. Hundreds of people, I'm sure, will show up at the airport, and they have in costume. And they have an opportunity to win a prize to anywhere that Eastern Airlines flies. That should be fun. This coming Wednesday night, if you'd like to be part of our audience, we're doing a special show. This coming Wednesday, if you call us, you come here about 7 o'clock. We'll do the show at 7:30. It's an anniversary show. If that interests you, we'd like to have you. Call us at 645-3999.
Right, and we have a second super bargain today. This is a chance to go out to the theater with your children, to the Children's Theater, for half price coming up this coming weekend. It's good for Memorial Day weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Children's Theater, of course, is known for their fine productions that they do. Right now they're doing Alice in Wonderland, and here are some scenes from Alice in Wonderland. What a wonderful fantasy, huh?
Nice costuming, too.
Oh, yeah. It's adjacent to the Minneapolis Institute of Arts, as you know. And normally the tickets for this would be, there are the dates, Saturday, There are 2 performances on Saturday, May 23rd, 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Sunday, 2 performances at 2 and at 5. You have your choice of any of those 4 performances for half price. Tickets normally $6.75 to $11.75 for children, seniors, and students, $9.50 to $15.75 for adults. It will be 2 for 1. You can get half price tickets today and tomorrow if you call or stop in. You have to call and charge the tickets, or you can stop in and buy them right there at the Children's Theater. There's a number to call, 874-0400 or 2400 3rd Avenue South in Minneapolis is where you go to get the tickets. This weekend, Saturday or Sunday, is when those performances are. So if you're interested in going to see Alice in Wonderland with your children, be sure to call or drop in, get those tickets for half price.
Sharon can't go on Sunday because she's planning something incredibly special for my birthday, but I don't know what it is.
I thought it'd be fun if we all went to the Children's Theater.
Was that our plan? Was that our plan? We're going to find out.
It was half price.
Half price, perfect. That's perfect. Field Host for a Day competition. You know, how many of you think you know what our Field Host for a Day winner actually did? Do you have any idea? What do you think she did? She did something dangerous.
What would be something dangerous that you wouldn't even dare try?
That Gary Lumpkin wouldn't try. Skydiving?
You think so?
Well, you might be right. Let's see what happened when Jackie Pollock from Columbia Heights was given her mission by Gary Lumpkin. Watch.
I'm Jackie Pollock, and I'm field host for the day. And I'm going to do something that involves this airplane right here, because this plane belongs to the Minnesota Skydivers Club. In just a few minutes, I'm going to be standing out on the ledge of this plane, nearly 10,000 feet in the air, and I'm going to jump off, because this is skydiving. But I'm going to show you something new in the sport.
These are kind of strange.
What's new in the sport is called tandem skydiving. I'll tell you about that in a minute. This is my instructor, Brad Northrup. He's helping me get suited up for the jump. Okay. Now, I've worn jumpsuits before, but this is the real thing. This is literally a suit for jumping.
And this is a parachute, much like the one we'll be using. It's heavy, almost 50 pounds, but luckily I won't be wearing this on my back. My instructor, Brad, who I'll be jumping with, will have this on his back. You see, even though I've got the harness on for parachuting, the chute actually goes on his back, and then I'm harnessed to the parachute and to Brad. So there's one parachute between the 2 of us, although we do have a reserve chute along with just in case. And that's tandem skydiving.
I'll say turn and kneel.
2 people strapped together as they jump out of an airplane may sound crazy, but Brad says the benefit of it is a beginner can free fall on the first jump rather than having to open the chute right away. The reason? Because you have your instructor right there with you, of course. Once I was suited and harnessed, Brad showed me the steps we need to go through in the plane just before we jump. Most importantly, we go through all the final checks together to make sure we're hooked together properly. Before we jump, we'll step outside the plane like this and hang on to the wing until Brad gives the signal.
I say ready, set, go. Step off to the right and arch.
Okay.
We had to get through this quickly because the winds were picking up. It was already blowing at about 12 to 14 knots. If it gets as high as 20 knots, there will be no jumping. So before I knew it, our pilot, Lyle Northrup, who is Brad's father, was starting the engine. And we're on our way into the wild blue yonder. And when they opened the door to drop that streamer out, well, my whole life began to flash before me. The higher the plane got, the more leery I got. Finally, it was time to turn around, get into position, and hooked up. Once I'm turned around, we switch to another camera. This one is hooked to the helmet of Dave Becker, who will be jumping with us. You can see him sitting just in front of me here. I'm all hooked up, so technically I'm ready. Mentally, I'm not so sure. This is the first time I've been up in a small plane. I never imagined my first time would be a time when I'm planning on jumping out of it. The plane ride seems so horribly long. It takes 20 minutes to get to the proper altitude, then only 4 minutes of actual jumping. Funny thing is, when the time came to actually jump, I kind of wish we could still ride in the plane for a while, but there's no backing out now. It was time to step out on that wing and do it. I couldn't believe it. There I was, dropping from the sky from 10,000 feet up at 120 miles per hour. As we were falling, Larry Grinland, the Minnesota Skydivers Club president, just, shall we say, dropped in to say hello. Then Brad reached for the ripcord, and boy, did that slow us down. Finally, my feet were back on good old Mother Earth.
Whoa, it's running away from you. Okay, you're the field host. Close out the story.
Well, there you have it. That's tandem skydiving. And thanks to Brad Northrup and the Minnesota Skydivers, I'm back on the ground safe and sound. See you next time. Gary, your job's in jeopardy.
You actually did that too good, I think.
Wow, wasn't that something?
Oh.
Jackie Pollock.
I just am amazed that she had the presence of mind to do the end of the story.
I know,
after
because
that.
she did seem genuinely scared. Didn't it seem like she was incredibly high? I mean,
You said it looked exciting.
yeah.
I said it looked horrifying. I was like...
Jackie Pollock is
Wonder
here.
what
We're
it's
going to
like
meet her
for
in
her.
just a moment, and Gary Lumpkin's going to come out to help us out, too, because there's more to this story behind the scenes. We'll show you that.
It's from everyone at work. We all miss you. Oh, how adorable. We'll try it on her when she wakes up. You remembered. I love orange cappuccino. With NutraSweet. And sugar-free Swiss mocha for the chocolate lover. So, what's going on at the office? Do you have a week?
Celebrate the moments of your life.
With General Foods International coffees in regular and sugar-free.
What is this?
That is a shirt.
A shirt. No, this.
Oh, it's your ring around the collar. I should have stuck to Whisk.
I thought you always used Whisk.
Well, I had this coupon, so I tried something new. Never again. Whisk works better. See? No more ring around the collar.
Yeah, everything's clean. Gloria, I'm out of clean shirts again.
Well, luckily you have Whisk.
Can we talk about this?
Whisk gets ring around the collar and your whole wash clean.
Ah, the delightful new meals people are serving today. Creative, nutritious, convenient, light. It's not surprising that all these meals are made with white meat. What is surprising is that the white meat here is pork. Pork, the other white meat.
For a quick, inexpensive meal, you can have this or Shakey's Buffet. They cost about the same, but you get a little bit more at Shakey's. A salad bar loaded with garden fresh vegetables, a variety of Shakey's delicious pizza, golden fried chicken and deep fried potatoes, piping hot pasta, and more. Well, that's the long and the short of it.
And she is here with us now, Jackie Pollock. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's great. Now, people want to know, how old are you?
25.
And what do you do?
I am a student at the U, and I also work as a waitress at the Ground Round in Fridley.
Did you have any second thoughts about it?
Not really, no. Once they told me that this was what I had to do, I just said, okay, and went.
But when you were in that plane, did you have some second thoughts? It looked as though you were.
Yes. I was petrified. I mean, they had to... Once you're out on the ledge there, you're going. There's nothing you can do. They had to sort of pry my hands off the seat to get me to go.
That's nice. A willing diver. Well, we want to show what happened, and we're going to bring Gary Lumpkin out, too, in just a few moments. But let's take a look behind the scenes of what was going on as Jackie went through this whole experience. Watch.
While I was being coached by Brad Northrup on the techniques of jumping, Gary was coaching me on how to be a field host.
What it feels like, why you're doing what you're doing, based on what you've been told. You know, you're not the expert, but you're the expert as far as the audience is concerned in terms of what it feels like to go through this.
So, in effect, I was learning two things at one time, and both were making me, if you'll excuse the pun, a little jumpy.
Are you nervous at all?
I am scared to death.
Perfect. That's the kind of... then you are definitely a field host.
We actually had 3 cameras for this story. Michael Dolan is Good Company's chief photographer. He was the main shooter. Here he's getting ready to go up in the plane with me. Notice the emergency parachute he's wearing. They were afraid that when they opened the door he might fall out, so this is just a precaution. Another camera is the small one that was strapped onto skydiver David Becker's helmet. And the third was on the ground, operated by Good Company's Dan Lensmeyer. So from a technical standpoint, we were more than ready. It's the field host part that was a little shaky there for a while. Being smooth on camera looks a lot easier than it is.
Okay, and I'm Jackie Pollock, because you're going to be following right after somebody else.
Okay.
And I'm Jackie Pollock, and I'm on the scene at Carleton Airport in Stanton, Minnesota, to show you what happened when I became field host for a day. And I did something that Gary said he will never do, skydive.
Okay.
All right?
And I'm Jackie Pollock. I'm at the scene at the Carleton Airfield in Stanton, Minnesota. And I can't remember what I did. Weighs almost 50 pounds. It's real heavy. But luckily, I won't be wearing this on my back. Brad will. Because you see, even though I'm wearing a harness, much like regular parachuters do, I won't actually be connected to... I screwed this up. And then I'm harnessed to him and to the parachute. So there's actually one parachute between the two of us.
And that's why they call it...
And that's why they call it tandem skydiving. And then the two of us are connected to the one parachute. And that's why they call it tandem skydiving.
That's okay. That's good. That's getting better.
I'm Jackie Pollock.
And here's something interesting. Stories like this are often shot out of order. This open to the story, for instance, was actually the very last thing we shot. Sometimes that's necessary. In this case, we couldn't waste time because of the heavy winds. We had to do the jump scenes first. And speaking of jump, although it wasn't revealed in the story, I actually jumped twice, not just once. That's also necessary sometimes in order for cameras to move around and get different angles of the same event. However, in this case, it gave me an opportunity to redo my clothes. The clothes you saw was from the second jump. Here's Gary coaching me before I went up the first time.
Okay, so there you have it, tandem skydiving, a new way to learn how to learn the sport. And it seemed like a good deal. See you next time.
Okay.
Practice. See you next time.
See you next time.
See, you got that part.
It seems simple enough. I'm supposed to land, wrap it up in a couple of sentences, and say, see you next time. But that's not exactly the way it happened. I guess I was just a little too excited.
Okay, I just landed. Coming out of the plane was probably the scariest thing that I've ever done. All of a sudden you're out there and there's nothing you can do, and he just does it fast. Ready, set, go. And you go and all you see is this plane falling away from you, and you just look and you're kind of falling, and it's so scary and fast. And then,
So what about tandem jumping? Do you like tandem jumping?
it's really neat. When you're up there, when you're just kind of hanging, gliding along, you can see everything around you. That's just beautiful. And you don't really feel like you're up high like that. You don't notice the height unless you look straight down at the airport.
Tell them see you next time.
See you next time.
Oh, that was great. That was just great.
Oh, that was wonderful.
What a great job, Gary.
Well, I was along just as kind of the coaching from the TV side of it. She was getting all the expert coaching on jumping from Brad Northrup. But that last little bit, I'm glad we got a chance to see that, because she did, in fact, jump 2 times so we could put it all together camera-wise and give you all the shots.
Yeah.
But that first close, normally a story would run 4 to 5 minutes. That one bit of rambling chit-chat there at the end was about 3 minutes right there.
It was so great. It was so real.
Were you surprised that she was able to do it as well as she could do it? Because she was doing it like a TV pro with her conversation, plus taking the chance.
Yeah, we commented, in fact, on the crew on the way back that the talking to the camera that she did was so natural, and she really picked up. You know, we showed some little flubs and stuff, but you know, as you know, and we do those ourselves all the time.
Sure.
Of course.
Yeah, and doing it right now.
Of course.
But
all the time.
What was the hardest part, Jackie? I think the hardest part was probably just when I was up in the plane and getting ready to go out.
Yeah.
Because then it's become such a reality to you at that point, and especially when they open the door, there's this tremendous amount of noise and wind, and all of a sudden you can see right out there and where you're going to be going. And that's probably the hardest part, is to get yourself to actually get out there on that ledge. Once you're out there, it's fine.
And you know, this is the one thing that Gary wouldn't do.
That's right, he wouldn't do it.
The only thing you said you wouldn't
Yeah, I
do.
wouldn't do it either.
That's pretty much it. Skydiving, I'll leave. Although the thing that she did, the skydiving, this is pretty darn safe.
Changing your mind?
Well, it looked awfully fun. She had such a good time. She was ready to go back up and try.
Would you do it again?
Yes, I would do it again. I'm thinking maybe this summer, after, you know, school ends for the summer and I've got a little bit more time, maybe I'll head down there. And I would say that if you've ever thought that you wanted to try skydiving, this is the way to do it, tandem skydiving. It's so great. You feel so much safer knowing that there's somebody out there with you. You're jumping with somebody else. And Brad, who I jumped with, was so confident and so calm about the whole thing that it really put me at ease. You know,
Well, you did
Good
it.
for you. Congratulations.
Really did.
It's really
Very
excellent.
much.
We want to mention to our viewers, if you are interested in being part of this, you can get a hold of them. Tandem Skydiving in Hastings, 437-5164. Jackie, you were a pro. Good for you.
It was good fun.
Thanks.
I loved it.
Thank you.
John, please don't pressure me. I have to work tonight.
Interesting. Stress can cause headache pain, and that pain more stress, and the stress more pain. A vicious cycle. Break it with the new breakthrough in pain relief. Ibuprofen with ibuprofen. Ibuprofen is stronger, more effective than the leading pain reliever, and has no aspirin.
John, come on over. I can finish tomorrow.
Interesting. When the pain goes, you feel better, and better, and better. Break the cycle of pain with new ibuprofen.
A&W, the root beer people, have a new cream soda with such old-style, creamy taste. Just one sip made me wax so nostalgic. I invited all my childhood buddies to Hollywood. Hi, buddies.
Hi, Vern. This is my friend Pokey. He's in my new movie, Ernest Goes to Camp. It's a whole lot of fun, Vern. It's about camping and nature and all. Isn't that right, Pokey?
That's right, Ernest. And you did a real good job. I laughed until my shell collapsed.
See there, Vern? 9 out of 10 turtles agree Ernest Goes to Camp is the movie to see. Great.
To get a Supermom custom-made cake tomorrow, just give us a call by noon today. Cakes made to order at Super America.
A new skin cream is being tested right here in the Twin Cities. It may help us have fewer wrinkles. We'll find out more in just a moment. But first of all, we have our third super bargain of the day. This is a chance to eat out for half price at one of the most popular restaurants in the Twin Cities, the Nankin. Nankin, of course, is a famous restaurant here in the Twin Cities, located right downtown Minneapolis. One of the things they do best is their chow mein, and that's what the deal is on. You're looking at it right now. It is their special chicken subgum chow mein. You can get that half off today or tomorrow for lunch and for dinner. The Nankin special chicken subgum chow mein is normally priced at $6.50. Will now be 50% off today and tomorrow only. This is eat-in only. You can't take it out. So go into the Nankin, eat out, and get it for half price. Be sure to ask for the Good Company Super Bargain when you go in to get that chow mein dinner. And there's the address, City Center. That's at 7th and Hennepin in downtown Minneapolis. Steve?
Thanks, Sharon. There is an experimental anti-aging skin cream that is being tested in 8 places around the country, including right here in the Twin Cities. And we have with us a dermatologist from Minneapolis who was part of this testing project, Dr. Beth Bryden. Welcome, Doctor.
Welcome. Thank you.
So this is we call it an anti-aging cream, but what does it really do?
Well, so far the cream is supposedly, none of the studies are final yet, but it supposedly helps prevent further skin wrinkling and photo damage when combined with the use of a sunscreen, and may potentially reverse some of these superficial wrinkles while allowing the skin to actually repair itself and possibly rejuvenate normal skin structure.
It's kind of hard to follow all that, so let's take a look at a picture of a before and after of someone who actually has tried this particular thing. You can see the before. What do we see there?
Okay, on the top picture, the before, you can see this would be probably a mild photoaging, wrinkling, where you see little furrows extending out from the eye there. After 3 months of treatment with this new cream...
Every night?
Every night, once a day application. It's actually a vitamin A acid derivative cream. You can see that the skin appears smoother. Some of the deeper wrinkles are smoothed out, and some of the superficial wrinkles are less apparent or
I mean,
gone.
that's dramatic. It looks like it works.
So far, it does. We've just started our study about 2 weeks ago, so we don't have any of the results in from our specific study. But a researcher in Philadelphia who's been working with this cream, the cream has actually been out on the market for about 20 years, specifically for treating acne. He used a modified version of this cream for patients, actually post-adolescent patients with acne in their 20s and 30s, who noted that their skin felt a lot softer and smoother, and they actually reported to him that they thought they had fewer wrinkles. So,
and that's how the thing started.
Right. So
well, we have in our audience some people who came along who are also part of this study, and Sharon's with them now. Sharon?
Right. First of all, I wanted to introduce you to Patty Davis, who is the study nurse. These people, I heard it on the news, and I'm sure you must have had tons of people apply to be part of it. How many people showed up?
Well, we had about 100 people show up for our meeting, and we have a waiting list of 550 people.
550, and you chose how many people?
Well, we need 80 for this particular study.
Okay, so there are 80 people who are involved in the study. We have 2 of them with us right now. This is Elaine Grivna, who is from Plymouth. Hi, Elaine. Oh, Myrna, I'm sorry. Elaine's right here. Myrna Nelson is from Spring Lake Park. Welcome. Now, you've been using the cream for how long?
Just a week. So we're just starting our study.
What does it feel like when it goes on?
So far, we haven't noticed any change, but it's only been a week.
Now, this is untried, really, for this purpose. Do you have any concern that it could harm your skin?
No, I really don't have any concerns because we're monitored very carefully by the study nurse and the research physicians.
What made you want to be a part of the study?
I just think it's great if they can come up with a product that will eliminate a lot of my wrinkles.
Hear, hear. How about you? What was your reason, Myrna?
The same reason. That's why we're here, is to see if this isn't really going to work.
Okay, and you had to have a little biopsy, I understand. Yes, and also, what else?
The eye, yeah.
And some blood tests.
And then you just use the cream every night?
Every night, yeah. Follow their directions that they've given us.
Okay, well, let's all keep our fingers crossed, huh?
Yes.
Okay. Steve?
Beth, how long are they going to be doing this, putting it on?
Well, for this particular study, it's 6 months in duration, and after the end of 6 months, we'll evaluate it and see how it's progressing, and possibly extend it for another 6 months.
So it's going to be at least a year before this product is on the market as an anti-aging cream.
Right.
What's likely? How long would it take if everything went right?
Probably, this is what they consider a phase 2 testing, where there will probably be another testing facility or testing group that occurs after this, where they test even more.
So how many years?
Patients. Probably 1 or 2 years.
And what's it called?
It's a trans-retinoic acid or a vitamin A derivative cream.
So it's like vitamin A cream is kind of like the...
Right, it's a derivative of vitamin A.
Okay, so we'll be looking for that. Very good luck in your testing there. And Beth, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Right back to you.
Thank you.
Hi. I just moved in next door. Could I borrow a Diet Pepsi?
Sure. Come in. Yes.
How about something else?
Listen, if you don't have a Diet Pepsi...
I got it. Chasing down a dream. Turning up my engine. Touching screen.
You okay in there?
Here's your Diet Pepsi.
That must be my roommate, Danny.
Danny?
Hi, I'm Danielle. You got another Diet Pepsi?
Sure.
Diet Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
For Sam Breakstone's cottage cheese, the cream couldn't be too rich.
By Havemeyer, this is rich. By Sam Breakstone, this isn't rich. Tell Havemeyer it's richer, but not rich enough. Tell Havemeyer it took him long enough.
Because Sam was so demanding then, his all-natural cottage cheese is so smooth, rich, and creamy now.
And tell Havemeyer, you make a nice, rich cream.
In regular and low-fat styles.
You can't see it, you can't even smell it, but inside everybody's house is an invisible gas that's been linked to lung cancer. Hello, I'm Stan Turner. Few people know that radon gas exists, and this week on Eyewitness News, we'll tell you what radon gas is and how to determine if it is present in your home. Feeling Great is brought to you by Physicians Health Plan and KSTP TV, Channel 5.
We had so many people apply for our kitchen makeover, and we just want to let you know that we are going to be telling you who the winner is this coming Thursday. So that's coming up on Thursday. And right now, let's check in with the newsroom and see what's happening in the headlines.
Thank you, Sharon. Hello, everyone. I'm Ruth Spencer with an Eyewitness News Brief. A local man is one of the sailors still unaccounted for aboard the USS Stark. 28 crew members of that frigate were killed yesterday after an attack by an Iraqi warplane. 20-year-old Christopher Ryden requested assignment on the frigate after seeing it on tour in Duluth. On Live at 5 today, our reporter Mark Sapelsa will talk with Ryden's father as he awaits word on his son's condition. We will also have the administration's reaction live via News Star 5 from Washington, D.C. Join us then. Now for today's health.
Common household products can pose serious health risks. When mixed together, chlorine, bleach, and ammonia release a poisonous gas.
Special family night coming up. Dave Larkham is here to tell us about it.
Well, first of all, it's going to be Wednesday, May 27th from 6 to 10 p.m. $4 donation will be taken right there at the door. And all the proceeds from the show will go to the Minnesota Children's Hospitals. And KSTP will also be taping the highlights of the event to be on the air May 29th. And it's going to be hosted by your own Neil Murray, Debbie Emblum, Gary Lumpkin with special guests. Tickets available at Monticello Dairy Queen, so they can call 295-4070 for ticket information. And also ticket admission includes a chance to win a trip to Disney World for 4 people. If I can spit it out here. So.
Okay, did it. Thanks, Dave. 295-4070, Children's Miracle Network. We have a kind of a surprise guest here, and I want him to stand up for a second. Mike Brunswick's dad is in our audience. Got to stand up. How are you? You are here from?
Ann River, Michigan.
Yes. Did you have any idea that Mike was going to go into television when he was growing up?
Not really.
Yeah?
He was real shy.
He was shy. He's still kind of shy, isn't he?
Yes.
But he is able to capture these wonderful stories.
He is, yes.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming down and joining us today. Okay, great. Sharon?
And we have one more group in our audience, people from the Sleepy Eye Community Education, all right in here. Give a wave, everybody. So they know you're here at home. Thank you for coming in. Coming up on tomorrow's show, Gary is going to be out at the airport. You've heard us talk about it. If you saw it the first time, you know it is a riot. People show up in costumes with bags full of household items for the giveaway.
That is Sasha's Deli in Minnetonka. We'll give you a restaurant review.
And we're going to learn about a lethal gas that may be causing lung cancer.
Thanks for joining us today. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Presenting Clothes So Sinfully Soft, your family will love to put it on. This is Liquid Fab with a unique advanced softening system. A powerful detergent plus a unique fabric softener all in one. For a brilliant clean and a softness that feels so comfortable.